uh, is what I call the MAESTRO framework with 7-layer uh, reference architecture, kind of for agentic AI stack. Uh, Coming from like the bottom layer is really the foundation model. What model you use certainly impact the agent behavior. You can use in closed source model, open source model. You can fine tune it. It has different risk profile. Certainly will have the different measurement in terms of the trust score. And then you have the what data you use. Then uh, how you do the data handling or pipeline. Eventually, the agent, there is a term called the lethal traffic by Simon Wilson. I think it's really good to frame the data layer threat. Like if you have an agent which can do the um, reading on the internal data and also have access to potentially malicious external data, and then it can do some action, right? Upon it, it's called the lethal traffic. So some suggestions that we can just take two, then it's secure. That's I don't think it's a good frame. Even take two, it could do the damage. Like if you only have the access to your internal data, you have the action where you can do something on top of that. It could be potentially you deleted the database or disclosure some information, right? So take two was not a good approach. Some company advised this. I actually write the article, detailed article, so it's not a good approach with that. But still, I think it's a good framing in the data layer. It's a lethal traffic. And then you move up to the third layer, which is agentic framework. You can use your own framework. Some people do, and you can using LangGraph or Blue AI, Agent SDK. Those frameworks are the orchestration framework. They are not used for security framework. So you have to kind of add a zero trust or framework, authentication, authorization, auditing framework into it, right? So that's why I do have this, like I talked at the ISA conference the year before, no, in 2024, not this year, but the last year, about that. So this is the third layer, and the fourth layer is really where you deploy. How do you trust? Like it, maybe go to the silicon layer, you do right trust execution environment. Like if you can have a uh, verifiable computing there, that's better, right? So you bring more trust, and also from the really silicon hardware up until to the stack, the Kubernetes or Docker, where you're deploying the AWS or GCP or Azure, those has a different risk profile, different trust level that you have to measure against. And then if you really move to the fifth layer, it's really the evaluation and observability. Eval is really hard, right? Uh, Usually if the benchmark is become target, it's not a good benchmark anymore. So the evaluation is hard. Go back to when you're talking about it's aligned with your business objective. It's reliable, right? This is evaluation suite. You have to maybe every change you did, model change or tool change, MCP calls, you do need to do a kind of regression harness, like to replay it to see if there's any thing wrong. Observability certainly is very important. It's feedback loop, right? So that could have the different security profile as well. So this fifth, sixth layer, I will end soon. So sixth layer is really the in agentic AI. You may have the people talking about using the agent to manage the agent in, from security perspective, using agent control plane or using agent SOC, agent EDR, XDR, right? Agent red teaming. Those could also potentially have some risk profile as well. So eventually, the last layer is really the agent ecosystem. You build the agent, and the agent can talk with the agent using the A2A, MCP, the other ACP protocol, right? So what are the profile or risk profile? Maybe you have log agent there that you find you use it and it will mm, extrafiltrate your data or delete your database. So yes, so those are the risk profile, but how you deal with it, how you have a mitigation strategy to that, that increases the trust level. So yeah, and back to you guys. Maybe have more discussion.
And no, I like the OSI style layers of of agentic AI and dealing with the threat model and